What's going on, everybody? My name is Valid, and I'm fighting all the bosses in Crimson Desert without food, so you don't have to bring 83 fish porridge to each boss fight. Today, we'll be fighting Antumbra's sword. Antumbra's sword is... well, he's mean. He's quick, he's tanky, his hits do damage through blocking, and he does an outrageous amount of damage on some of his combos. But, on the other hand, he only really has 4 attack patterns that we need to remember, all of which have openings to punish him back on. The first attack pattern, which is the one that you'll be seeing the most often, is his standard melee combo. On the final hit of the combo, he'll spawn illusions of himself which will leap over and attack you, leaving a range slashing trail at the end of the attack that does a ton of damage. He can do a different number of swings before the final hit of the combo, so what you'll want to do is just keep blocking until you see the black smoke appear around him. This is when the illusions will spawn, and then immediately dodge forwards through the boss when you see the smoke in order to dodge the final hit. After dodging, you'll want to turn around and force palm and then begin a 3-hit heavy attack combo. There's 2 things I want to mention for this attack. The final hit can be blocked if you mess up the evade, however depending on your positioning and the angle that the illusions appear from, they can sometimes get around your block, and a full hit from the boss in the illusions can potentially one-shot you depending on your gear level. Even if you do block the entire attack, it'll likely wreck your stamina bar and break your block and still do damage. The other thing for this attack that, depending on if you perfect evade or just do a standard roll, depending on how fast you follow up with the force palm, that he'll sometimes just be able to avoid it. If this happens, don't try to follow up with the heavy attacks, just get your shield back up and prepare for his next attack. Antumbra's second attack pattern is a 3-hit combo, where he'll come at you from stealth, attack, and then stealth again. He'll attack like this 3 times, with the 3rd hit of the combo giving a red shield indicator before the hit, and then he'll stay out of stealth after that 3rd hit. What you want to do for this attack is just hold your block and wait for those first 2 hits without moving. Your character will always auto-turn and block these. When he comes out for the final hit, you can either just block it or evade when you see him appear from stealth. Preferably evade, and then follow up with the force palm into the 3-swing heavy combo during his recovery animation. The next attack to watch out for is his AoE Attack. Antumbra will hold his sword high above his head before stabbing it down into the ground, releasing his range slash attacks in a circle around him. For this attack, I found it best to just back up when you see him holding his sword up, and then roll forwards into him as he stabs it into the ground and releases the slashing arcs. This attack has a long recovery animation, which we will do the same force palm into the 3 heavy hit combo. And the final attack to watch out for is his ultimate. Like with every other ult, the arena will go dark as Antumbra winds up his attack, and then he'll spawn illusions that will leap attack into you, similar to the final hit of his first attack pattern, and this will happen 4 times before the attack is over. You'll want to watch carefully during his wind-up animation and wait till you see the illusions spawn. The moment that they spawn, start rolling sideways and keep spam rolling until all 4 jumps are complete. If you time the first roll correctly, the timing should be correct for all 4. Once this guy returns to normal if you're close enough to him, force palm, and then start that 3-hit heavy attack combo. If you get those 4 patterns down, you should be able to take on this guy fairly easily. I do want to emphasize the reason why we're using force palm into heavy attacks for this fight though. The light attacks don't seem to stagger him enough, and he will be able to block your swings and then hit back sooner. Plus, the combination of the force bomb into the heavy attack combo really builds up his posture bar to stun him, which is when we'll get our real damage in. The damage outside of that is pretty terrible. And while we're on the subject of breaking his posture and stunning him, I also want to mention, do not use the finisher or any heavy attacks during this, just switch back to light attacks until he stands back up on his own. You'll get way more damage in this way, and because light attacks don't use any stamina, you'll be ready to defend when he stands back up. And the last thing I want to mention is that while there's several things that can be optionally blocked or dodged, such as the final hit of his stealth combo or the AoE attack, evading is always better in these situations. All of his hits will do damage through your shield, but if you happen to perfect evade, you will restore both your stamina and spirit, which you'll need to keep up on this fight. So that's going to be it for this one. Antumbra is definitely a rude powerhouse of a boss, but hopefully this guide will make taking him down easy for you. I'll be putting the full fight here at the end in order for you to see the strategy in action if you'd like to keep watching. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.